Injured Bronco Billy Walters admits he has mixed emotions ahead of Sunday's grand final. Not only will Billy be forced to watch from the sideline, he'll also be thinking about his dad Kevin, who was sacked as Brisbane coach only a year ago.
The Broncos heading to the beach at Brighton Les Sands. There was some horsing around on their day off. Today, all about relaxing before the weight of what's ahead on the weekend sinks in. Unfortunately for Billy Walters, an ACL injury he suffered in the qualifying final against the Raiders means he'll be a spectator for the decider.
Yeah, it's pretty upsetting to know that I was going to miss the two biggest games of the year. It was pretty heartbreaking, to be honest.
Walters had played every match this season until last week's prelim.
It's a bit of a bittersweet feeling, I guess. I was really happy that the boys were able to get the job done against Penrith last week and make the grand final. Also feeling a little bit sad that I wasn't out there to help them do it, or on Sunday won't be part of the biggest game of the year.
Michael Maguire still wants the 31-year-old to play a role in grand final week, appointing him team motivator.
I had to calm down a little bit. I can't distract the boys too much. I'm getting a little bit bored, not getting on the field and training with them. Helping out as much as I can and whatever they need or whatever any of the players need, I'm trying to help out, and I'll be cheering from the stands though. I'm bloody nervous wreck last game.
The coach also pulling Walters on stage with the rest of the players at the NRL Fan Fest.
Yeah, it's really nice of Madge to let me be a part of this week as much as he can, and as much as I'd love to be out there playing, I still feel like I'm part of it sitting on the sidelines.
Last season, Billy's dad Kevin was coaching the Broncos. The pair won't get the chance to erase the pain of their defeat in the 2023 decider.
It's probably a little bit bittersweet for him as well. I know he'd love to be here. He's a passionate Broncos man, and he built this team to what it is, and I know he'd love to be coaching the team on the weekend, but that's just the way footy goes sometimes. But he's proud, he's happy for all the boys, he still keeps in touch with a lot of them.
Luke Dovesey, 9 News.
Jerome Hughes became a preliminary final hero when he played just 22 days after breaking his arm to help book the Storm's place in Sunday's decider. The half knows he'll be targeted by the Broncos in the grand final, but he has no fear of getting out of his comfort zone on the field or in his personal life.
He's the Storm's miracle man. Jerome Hughes' rapid recovery from a broken forearm shouldn't be a surprise.
I remember you've broken your hands a couple of times. You've been back in a week.
Yeah, I broke both my hands actually, and both times I was able to return in a week. And
what is it with that?
I don't know. I thought it was normal.
The NRL is littered with heroic efforts. Top of the list, Cooper Cronk with his broken shoulder in the 2019 grand final.
Did you try and hide, when you're out there?
Yeah, I always try hide. I'm not the best defender in the world, so...
Was there a tactic though?
Oh, a little bit. Obviously, the less contact I put myself into, the less danger of me getting injured. So I think that was a little bit of a tactic.
And it will be a game of cat and mouse in the grand final.
I guess the same for Brisbane, right? Come and find me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I know there's going to be a lot of traffic, so, I'm going to be up for it, but, I'm not going to just put myself in front of their big boys. That's just silly. I don't think any half wants to do that.
You didn't have to tackle Nelson to prove your fitness or anything like
that? No, because that's probably something silly. I did have to tackle Josh King.
Courage is a big part of Hughes' makeup as a person. That was on display years ago when he took part in this music video for a young lady who would later become his wife.
Thank you. I love you too, baby. Allow me to introduce myself. I go by the name of B Major.
It's for my wife now. It was for one of her school projects, so they got an A, so it was all right.
You fancy yourself as a singer?
No.
Dancer?
Terrible singer. No, I got zero skill. I got no talent or anything.
Danny Weidler, 9 News.
The Roosters are Sydney's only chance of tasting grand final glory this weekend, taking on Brisbane for the NRLW title. It would complete a perfect season for the Tricolours, but the Broncos are full of belief they can be the team to snap the streak.
The defending premiers returning to the game's biggest stage and quietly confident of going back-to-back.
Really proud that we're in this position, and I think with both teams producing such great footy this year and a great skill set, that it's just going to make it a really exciting game.
The Roosters are on a 12-match winning streak and unbeaten this year, but all that really matters is what happens on Sunday.
So it's not about the perfect season or anything like that, and because at the end of the day, you just want to win that last game of the season.
If there's any secret to the Tricolours' phenomenal form, They say it's a simple one.
We do have high standards, as I'm sure at this level all the teams do, but and expectations that we want the girls to meet, but they just work incredibly hard. So if you're looking for a secret, that's it.
It's not just the players who have the chance to make history on Sunday. John Strange can become the only coach to win the Women's Origin and the NRLW premiership in the same year.
I just want to do the best I can as a coach and help the players that I coach, achieve what they want to achieve.
The Broncos believe they have the talent to cause an almighty upset on grand final day.
I back my forward pack and my outside back, so I think we're quite balanced in both sides, so it's going to be interesting and come down to moments in the game.
And there's perhaps no one better in the women's game at icing those moments than Brisbane's two-time Dally M medalist Tamika Upton.
Those small opportunities, she makes them pay. So that's the beauty when you've got a superstar like that in your back line, where if there's a one-on-one tackle, you're always going to back Tamika one-on-one.
Nicole Dunn, 9 News.
James Slipper had his two daughters at his final Wallabies training session today, Lily and Ava, in the team photo with Dad before he plays his 151st and final test for Australia. The former skipper's successor, Harry Wilson, intent on sending off the veteran prop in style.
Done so much for so long, it'd be crazy for us not to really lean into that, and we really want him to have a lasting memory of the Wallabies, something to be really proud of, and it's on all of us to make sure we go out there and do that.
Australia can win the Rugby Championship with victory, but also need Argentina to beat South Africa by 8 or more points. Australian selectors will get their first look at Cameron Green's bowling tomorrow, 12 months on from the all-rounder undergoing back surgery. Green is confident he'll be 100% fit by the time the Ashes roll around.
First test should be no restrictions. That's kind of the whole plan of the last year. I think that's why it's been such a slow build-up. So that you're peaking by the time the Ashes comes around.
Green will be limited to just 8 overs against New South Wales this weekend. Another medal for Australia at the Canoe Slalom World Championships, with Kate Eckhart taking bronze in the K1 on the whitewater at Penrith. It was the first time the 27-year-old has won an individual medal at the World Champs. Competition concludes tomorrow.